What's up, guys? It is a beautiful day out here in Blackhawk, Colorado. It's a perfect 55 degrees, nice and sunny, which is a good change because it's been extremely rainy in Denver nowadays. But this is so awkward. Filming in public is so awkward. So I found a little parking lot where there's not many people walking around. So yeah, I'm about to get to the promised land, aka Bally's, hop in their 1-3 game. Hopefully it's running good today. Hopefully I'll run good today. Hopefully the game's good. We'll see. Walked by Monarch to get here, obviously, and they're still not letting me play over there. So that sucks. Currently, Bally's is still the only place that lets me play. So shout out to Bally's for letting me get some footage. I appreciate you guys a lot. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and let me know what you guys think as always. Okay guys, so hell yeah, let's just jump into it. For this first one, I'm sitting down at a table with just about zero action. So I immediately ask for a table change, but right before I get called to switch, I look down at a nice looking hand. I look down at pocket sevens. Action starts with the middle position player, raising it up to $8. That's not going to be enough for me. I want to bump it up. I 3-bet it up to $20. A 3-bet on this table is already a rare sight. So when the big blind ends up cold 4-betting to $50, I know I am getting absolutely destroyed. The initial raiser folds, and for $30 more, I make the call, praying to see a 7 on the flop. With about $108 in the middle, the flop comes 5-5-3 2 spades. So all things considered, really not a bad flop for pocket sevens, but knowing that the villain's cold 4-betting range consists of only aces and probably not even kings, it's a board where I'm probably going to lose a lot of money. Villain's c-bets for about $50 now, about half pot. Honestly, I know I'm beat here. It's just way too hard for me to fold an overpair to 1-bet. So I stick the money in. I make the call like a degenerate, knowing I'm beat. Pot's about 208 now, and the turn is a jack. So it really doesn't change that much in my opinion. If I was beat before, I'm beat now. She bets out for $150, and this time I just accept my fate, make a disciplined fold, and yeah, I lose the first pot of the night. So first hand at this new table, I got a quick one here, and I'm mainly just showing this one to show, I play a lot of hands, and so a lot of them aren't super interesting, and it's kind of hard to get good ones sometimes for the vlog, but, this one's what a lot of them might look like if I open them up and don't go past a flop. So I look down at Queen 10 suited, early position, starts off the action, making it $10 to go. 2 people call around to me, so pot's already about $34. Seems like a good enough spot for me to squeeze. I have a nice hand. It's pretty. It's suited. Why not? I might want to pick up this dead money. We'll see. So I 3-bet it up to $45, and only one person makes the call. Pot's about $110 now, and the flop comes 8-9-2 rainbow with 1 heart. So, I have backdoor diamonds, 2 overs, a gutter. I have some stuff going on, but really I have absolutely nothing. But I make a range bet here for about $65, $60, and the villain just folds. So we take down this pot with pretty much no contention, and that's how a lot of these go. So this hand I actually think is really cool. This one starts with the $6 under the gun straddle being on, and like 4 or 5 people just make the call. Comes around to me, I raise it up with ace-jack offsuit. I make it $24 to go. Not the best hand in the world, but definitely good enough for me to want to raise it up and drive some limpers out of this pot. This time, only 2 limpers make the call, and the flop comes king 8-6 with 2 diamonds. So again, I completely whiff this board, but honestly, might have the best hand here with a good ace, and plus this flop is good for my range. So all that being said, I bet out for just a little over 1/3 pot here. I make it $35. Middle position player makes the snap fold, and early position player makes the call. Turn is the 10 of clubs, so a complete brick, again, doesn't change too much here. The villain checks to me, and this time I decide to slow it down a little bit, check it back, hoping to improve or maybe bluff on some scare cards. So the river comes, it is the 9 of diamonds. Pretty much all the straights and the flush gets there, so definitely a fun card to bluff at. I would expect her, if she had a strong hand, to bet here, assuming that I would check back the river and she would lose out on a ton of value a lot of the time. So with just ace high, I know I have to make a move to win this pot. I bet out for just about $125, just under pot. Villain tanks for a little bit. She stacks her chips up and she makes the call. I insta say good call. She turns over pocket 5s for an under pair on the board. So I had a good read on the situation. I pulled the trigger on the bluff, but it just did not work. For some reason, she just did not believe me whatsoever. So hey, I lose this big one, but kudos to her for making a good call. So keeping it rolling here, I look down at King Queen offsuit and decide I'm really trying to punt it off today. My friend Katie is in early position and she raises it up to $12. folds around to me, and I think with a hand like this, it's a 3-bet or fold situation. I decided on the more aggressive route and 3-bet it up to $35. Though in hindsight, I think against a player like Katie, maybe on the tighter side, raising from early position, I think I probably should have let this one go in some situations. Either way, I don't. I raise. Folds around to the button, and so when he cold 4-bet jams for about $108, Katie makes the quick fold. Action's back on me. I have an easy fold here, but I am incapable of letting my cards go, especially when I have paint, an ace, a pair, really any two in my hand. So with that being said, I make the call, praying that we're flipping against a hand like jacks or tens, but per usual, I'm punting. He shows pocket queens. Board runs out 7, 4, 10, and the river is a face, but it's a queen, and we donate some money here. He hits top set, I hit top pair. The case queen comes out for a little bit of extra burnage on this one. Honestly, it feels like I'm playing like shit, and at this point in the night, I am playing like shit, and I feel like the best option for me was to just go home at this time, take what money I have left in front of me, put it on the table another day. But the table was fun. I was having a good time, so I ended up staying, trying to see what happens. But when the button straddles for $10, I'm in the small blind. I'm next to act, and that's the way they do it over at Bally's. So definitely way too loose here, but I'm punting, keeping it going. I want to play some cards, so I make it $30 to go with King 8 suited, and only one person in middle position makes the call. The flop comes Queen 8-3 with 1 club, so pretty much nothing here. Backdoor clubs though, so that gives me enough reason to make the bet. I c-bet here for $25, a little small, about 1/3 per usual. And this opponent is the more relatively passive and tight opponent, so I'm hoping that this just gets through. She folds, but she ends up making the call. So with about $120 in the pot, turn is a beautiful one. It's a king, so now I'm definitely running with this one since I'm pretty short stacked. I decided to get a little tricky this time, and I check, making it look like I'm giving up, and hopefully the villain takes the bait. And that she does. She bets out for $75 or $70. I only have about 120, 110 left in my stack, so I just put the rest of it in. It's about 50 or 40 more to her. She obviously is not happy, even though it's such a small raise. She ends up calling. The river is a clean offsuit 3. I just show my hand, expecting to win most of the time, and we do. So we double up real easy here. Stack is back at around 400, 300, so honestly, good result. I'm glad I played this one. Okay, so this next one is a pretty weird one. I looked down at a not so nice looking hand, ace-6 offsuit, but when it folds to me on the button, I think it is good enough to make a raise here. I make it $12 to go. Surprisingly, both the blinds end up making the call. The flop comes 5-5-6, so honestly, pretty good flop for me. I have top pair, top kicker, but weirdly enough, the small blind ends up donking out for about $20 on this flop. It's not even a small bet for that matter. The big blind calls, weirdly, and I also make the call with some bad intentions of making some bad bluffs on future streets. With about $100 in the middle, the turn is another 5, so now I can pretty much discount that the early position player or the other player has a 5, because honestly, quads are a hard hand to make. And when the early position player checks, I doubt he ever has a 5 there. Now the big blind takes the betting lead and bets out for $45. So in total, the pot's about $145. I kind of just think, I'm thinking here, I don't think either of these guys have a super strong hand. I want to just apply max pressure and maybe take down the pot right now. I probably have the best hand, or I'm chopping with another 6 was my thought. So I jam it all in for about $250. Make this overbet here. I like overbets. I don't do them. I don't get to do them as much as I'd like in live poker. But yeah, so I just go for the overbet here, casually. Next act tanks for a long time, starts muttering to himself like, how, blah, 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 blah. Obviously has a better hand than I do at this point, so pretty scary, just praying for him to throw his cards away. And he does throw his cards away, thank God. We later find out he threw a pocket 7, so that would have been an absolute disaster. But the next guy just snaps me off. He shows 6-7, and we anticlimactically chop this one up when the river comes a deuce. So we both have 5s full of 6s. I was fucking scared when he was tanking.
I had 7.
So it's been about 4 or 5 hours now. I have about $400 on my stack. I'm in for 400. We're fluctuating up and down slightly. We're basically even. We're splashing around. We're playing extremely aggressive today and badly, so bad combination. But when I look down at kings, action starts with a very new aggressive player to the table, making it $12. And I'm next to act, making an easy 3-bet. I make it $40 to go. Folds background to this dude, and he makes the complete without thinking too much. So he obviously has some sort of hand here. Flop comes 9 queen 3 with 2 hearts. Villain checks to me in flow. I make a 1/2 pot c-bet with an overpair for $40. Villain then snap raises me to 120. So, honestly, I think for a few moments, but when SPR is pretty much less than 1, I know I'm never folding to a turn bet, especially against a player who I deem is capable of making some aggressive hands or some aggressive plays with hands worse than kings. So all that being said, I think I want to just apply as much pressure as I can. I opt to put all the money in. I jam for another $200, but he snaps me off, insta shows pocket 9s for a flop set. I'm basically dead here, drawing to a king. Turn is not a king. River is not a king. So we lose this $800 pot, last pot of the night. Shortly after this, I get up from my seat and go to Monarch and lose even more money, but I can't film there, unfortunately, still. So either way, though, not the greatest result for this poker session. What's up, guys? I had an outro filmed out in Blackhawk, but the video was super blurry, so redoing it now. Overall, it was an okay session. The game was kind of bad. It got better as the night went on, but overall, just, Thursday nights, it's kind of hit or miss over at Bally's. So can't complain, all things considered. I normally don't play on Thursdays, so fun to get that session in. Regardless, I was in for $100, out for 400, so that's a profit of negative 400, so not profit at all. Kind of a bummer result, but it is what it is. I then walked my ass over to Monarch to play some 2-5, but they still don't let me film, so I couldn't film it, and instantly got stacked. So that was the cherry on top last night. Not the best night I've ever had. So yeah, but either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And shout out to my brother Hudson. He is editing this video for me today. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. So thanks, guys. I hope you have a good one.